What y'all doing? Y'all see those beautiful trees? But this is a filter. They do not look like that. That's why my mouth look crazy. It's a filter. Oh my God. Anyway, get in here. Click like and click share. Can you share a live? Well, if you can share a live, you need to share this one. Child, let's have a chit chatty whack whack. I love you, and I can't sing, but I will still sing for you, my dears. Let me see if I can take this filter off. Actually, I'm gonna leave it on. Oh no, there's me without the filter. Okay. Oh my goodness, I got 5% battery. It's not gonna last long. Hey Bernadette Cooper. I love her. Oh my goodness, y'all. I'm just here chit-chatting. I'm finally sitting in my pool. I never get in my pool, like ever. But I'm sitting in it today. About to get out. All that goodness. All that goodness. What y'all doing? Put your questions in here. I'll answer what I feel like and I'll not answer the rest. That's how that goes. Ooh, I think a roach crawled up my booty. Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay, put your questions in here. Oh Lord, y'all. And please don't ask me what do I think about what's going on in the news. I ain't got no comments on none of this. Okay, let me get on this charger. Oh Lord, I thought I was locked out. I went through the wrong door. Okay. Whew. Can you sell life insurance in West Virginia? Baby, you can sell it all over the USA. Join my team at the link that's on my Instagram page. It's the link that's on my Instagram page. You say, what link? The link that's on my Instagram page. What link? The link that's on my Instagram page. Can you see? The link that's on my Instagram page. Hey, hey. Sometimes you got to sing it to people. I don't see the link. Well, I don't know what to tell you. Why don't I get in the pool? I just never think to. I'm not a big pool person. And in California, everybody got pools. Well, a lot of people have pools. And so, yeah. Can't control that a lot of houses have pools here. It's especially depending on where you live. It's easier to be in a house with a pool than not to be in a house with a pool. But, you know. Let me see here. How do you set a price for your product that you're selling? Look at your competitors. Use their pricing as a baseline. Find a competitor who's bigger than you and more successful, and one who's smaller than you and one who's about the same size, and then try to find an average between their prices. Then you have to make a choice for yourself. Do you want to be a higher priced product that has a higher quality, or a lower priced product? You make your choice. What did I do on Father's Day? Well, the boys took me out to dinner, and that was wonderful. Why do men who are still engaged act single? Well, I don't know that all men do that, but the ones you may be encountering are. Let me see here. What's my next major life goal? I don't know. I don't know yet. I've got some. But I don't like to share every goal. I like to make announcements rather than discuss plans. I don't know, but no, I'm being kind of vague, but like, I don't know. Let's see here. Let's see here. I'm telling y'all right now, I'm not discussing anything political. Y'all are asking political questions on here, and I'm going to tell you this right now. Okay? It's already out. All this stuff is already out there. I'm here to give y'all escape. Y'all can scroll through your Instagrams and everything else like that to see all types of political opinions. Y'all not here. I'm not MSNBC. I'm not Fox News. I'm not whoever, you know. I'm not none of those places. You're not coming here for political commentary. You're coming here for an escape from that. You're coming here for a relief from that. Okay? You want doom and gloom. You want celebration. You want whatever your opinion may be. Go look in the mirror and tell that opinion to that person looking at you, because that's where you're going to get that opinion from. I'm not here to get involved in all that. You know, there are other venues for discussing those things, and it ain't here. Not for me. All right? I have my own opinions, though. Trust and believe I do. Hey, Suey. How often do I work out? Not enough. Let's see here. Y'all gotta ask me some good questions. Do I believe you can be friends with your ex? Yes, I do. I'm friends with one of my exes. We were together for about 4 years, and we became friends almost a year after we broke up. He called me up one day and just started having a conversation with me, and I remember I was laying in bed, and I answered the phone. I was like, hello. He's like, hey, what you doing? I was like, in bed? Why? What? And then he was just like, someone says, am I gay? The dick in my mouth didn't give it away? The fuck? I'm kidding. And so anyway, he was like, so what you doing? And I was like, laying here. He's like, I want to talk to you about something. I was like, what? And he started talking about something he was going through. I was like, what the fuck is he talking to me about this? I am not you do not call me for comfort. And then it occurred to me that for our relationship, that's what I was for him. We comforted each other. You see what I'm saying? And I realized that we didn't have a bad breakup. We just weren't a fit for each other. And so I sat there and talked with him. It felt like old days, just minus the romantic connection. And that has become one of my closest friends. One of my closest friends. So I think that you can't be friends with every ex. Of course not. Right? But I do think that if you're finding that you can't be friends with none of your exes, look at yourself. Look at yourself. Look at yourself. Because the common denominator is you can't get along with nobody you've been with. It's always kind of weird to me when people, I can't be friends with none of their exes. I'm like, really? So everybody you pick has such horrible character that you can't be friends with none of them? Or you just don't know how to get over nothing? Oof. Let's see here. So how does that work when a new man comes along, Crystal? Easy. First of all, I don't introduce him as, this is my ex, right? Hey, Aaron. I don't say this is my ex. I say this is so-and-so. This is my friend, because that's what he is. I introduce him based on who he is in my life today. Now, I don't hide these my ex, but at some point in time after they met, like let's say he meets them, whatever. Then I'll say later on, I'm like, oh, I just want to give you a heads up. So-and-so, we dated, 15 years ago. Literally, 15 years ago. That's it. Oh, for real? Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's my friend. Just want to make it away. So is there anything between y'all now? 15 years. If I wanted him or he wanted me, don't you think that we be together? No. And mind you, my ex, I hooked him up with his next boo. At least next one or two of them. Yeah, because one of them was my friend. Not like close friend, but it was a friend I had after the relationship. I met him after the relationship. And we were all out hanging out. And I saw them making eyes at each other. And so I put a little money on the table. I was like, here, I'm going to pay for y'all's drinks. I got to go. I had to date my damn self. If I got to go, I said, but here, y'all have a cocktail together. And I looked at my friend, because my friend was like, isn't that your ex? I said, honey, trust me, you'll enjoy them. All right? And I got up and walked. What am I going to hold a man hostage for? And you don't want to be with me, you can't be with anybody. You got to be an old pitiful ass son of a bit of a die. You know what I'm saying? You got to be old pitiful, old miserable ass. Just misery loving ass bitch. To sit up here and you break up with somebody and you don't want to see them with nobody. No, not my friend. It was not like it was my best friend. And B, we had been broken up for like 2 years at that point in time. I don't want him. God bless you. God bless you. Right? God bless you. Have fun, baby. You want me to tell you what to do with it? Okay? Honey, I don't mind. Spread the love. Spread the love. Okay, and he did the same thing for me. I remember one time he went on a date with this guy. He's like, yeah, I don't think we compatible. I think we kind of like the same thing, if you know what I mean. Y'all get where I'm going? And so he said that they like the same thing. They both tops. Okay, just leave it at that. And so I was like, okay, we just chit-chatting, just having fun, talk. And he showed me dude's picture. He's like, yeah, here you go right here. I was like, you couldn't tell? He's like, well, I said, let me see. I was like, well, he is cute. And so then later on, like a month later, he's like, yeah, you remember that dude that I went on a date with a while ago? I was like, you go on a lot of dates. He's like, yeah, he must have saw us in a picture together and he didn't realize that you and I knew each other and he was asking about you. I was like, for real? He's like, yeah, you want me to connect you? Honey, Mother twirled on that thing for the next year and a half. And by twirled on that thing, I mean twirled in great conversation with him. Okay? 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 Honey, okay? Someone asked my top or bottom. What you think? What you think? Diane Muse knows. I love Diane. Diane's my favorite. No one else can compete. I'm sorry. Okay? I'm just saying, honey, what do y'all think? Let me give you some dimensions. 5'7", okay? Cute little booty, pretty toes. Okay? 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 You say, oh no, that's just a stereotype. Girls, stereotypes are built on something, weren't they? Okay? And by top and bottom, these, for the sister super Christian in the back, we're obviously talking about, am I at the, I don't know. I can't translate this. I can't. I was trying to make up something, but I can't. I don't know how to do this very well. Here's my logic about these whole things. Can we have a grown folks talk for a minute? I don't want my girls to slip out. Can we have a grown girls talk for a minute? Can we have a grown girls talk? Can I? Do you mind? I can keep it. I can keep it low key if you got the kids around. Okay? Put your AirPods in. I'll give you a second. Okay? Here's my reality. Okay? I feel like I don't care if you are gay, straight, whatever you may be. Everyone has their preferences in the bedroom, in the boudoir. Okay? The boudoir. Okay? And my thing is this. She said, I'm about to Google it. Girl, you need to get yourself some gay friends. I'll be your gay friend. Okay? I have my preferences. And in respect of that, right, I feel as though, and I've talked about this many times on live before, many times on camera. You can find videos all over the place about this. This is not a new subject. I know what I like. I know what I do well. I want to come in the room and show up and show out. Not come in the room and be like, is that all right? I'm coming to show out. Okay? So I know where I belong. Okay? I know where I belong. You hear what I'm saying? Now, if we married or in a relationship, I mean, birthdays and Christmas maybe. You know what I'm saying? Birthdays and Christmas. You sure you want that? I mean, all right, let me pluck these earrings off. Okay, let me put my Timberlands on. I mean, okay. All right. Oh, girl. Okay, please don't ask me that too much. Child, I had one years ago fooled me. Yes, he did, girl. He fooled me. Yes, he did. He fooled me. Honey, we met. We used to hang out and go out and everything like that, honey. Every time I was about to walk through the door, he knocked me out the way to open that door for me. Such chivalry. Okay? Honey, when you walk, they put their hand at the small of your back. Honey, he always had it right there at the small of my back. Right there. Oh, honey. When he would whisper we'd be out and about, and he come and whisper in my ear, I was like this, and he whispers. He'd be telling me about, you going to what to me later? For real? Let's go now. We can leave. You see where I'm going? Seduce me into a relationship. He's a sweetheart, nice guy. Girls, we get into this relationship. We're dating. Months go by. Amazing. Passionate. Enjoyed each other so much. 2 months go by. 3 months. It just gets better and better. And by it, I mean our time, our connection, our intimacy also, of course. Whew. About 3-4 months in, we're laying there. He gave me that look. And when you've been with a man long enough, you know what that look means, don't you? I knew what it meant. And he looked at me, and I looked at him. And he looked at me, and I looked at him. Child. So we go into the bedroom. And I know my routine, honey. Mother was always ready. Always be ready. Be ye ever ready. Okay? It's scripture in the book of MJ. Okay? So I was ready, if you know what I mean. And if you don't, get yourself a gay friend. So anyway, I'm sitting up here. And I'm in the bedroom, laid back, ready to be devoured. Okay? Oh, honey, make me into your rag doll, honey. You know, I was a little smaller back then, even still. I was like, ooh, honey. You know? Girl, he said, let's try something different. I'm like, this just gets better and better. Let's try something different. Let's do it. I'm like, so what you want to do? I'm flexible. And I'm pocket sized too. What are you going to do? You know what I mean? You can throw me up in the air, whatever you need. What are you going to do? What do you want? And so he was just like, he lays there on his back. I was like, oh, you want me to, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, like, ride him cowboy. You know where I'm going? Riding a horse, you know, going a horse ride around Malibu. So then he says to me, listen. So he says, I want you to, I'm not going to say it because I can't say it on here. I said, you mean to what? He said, I want you to. I said, you want me to do like you normally do? He was like, yeah. You don't want to try that? You don't be thinking about that sometimes? I said, do you? Do you? He was like, yeah, sometimes. I was like, really? Me? Like, I mean, you know, I'm built nice. But, you know, I'm like, me? Like the whole package? You know, me? Really? You want high heel marks in your back? And he was like, yeah. I'm like, is this something you're into? Are you into this kind of thing? Is this like some strange new fetish I've never heard of? You know? Get the queen to climb your back. I was like, so I'm literally in the bed like this. And he looks like he's even more revved up. He's like, girls, I didn't know what to do. I wasn't prepared mentally. I was already prepared in the other arenas, if you know what I mean. So, you know, when you're prepared, you know, you're ready. I'm ready. So on one hand, I'm shocked. On the other hand, I'm disappointed because does this mean I'm not getting what I want? Because I want what I want. And how do we decide this? Do we flip a coin at the halfway mark? Is it like a halftime show? And then we just switch over? I know that some of the girls like to do both. I've heard of these things before, but I didn't know what to do. And so I was like, so how... I'm pulling the sheet up on my girls. Because you know how sometimes when you feel vulnerable, you got to cover your girls up. I'm pulling my sheets up on my girls. So how do we do this? He's like, what do you mean? It's easy. You know what to do. I was like, no. Like, what? So is this, let's talk before we even endeavor into these arenas. Now I got to negotiate. Because I'm feeling like I don't have a way out. And so I'm like, is this going to be like a thing? Like a thing? Is this like a regular thing or something? And he's like, you know, I mean, you know, I like that. I like to mix it up every now and again. One of the boys are coming downstairs. I'll finish the story in a minute. He says, I like to mix it up every now and again. Let's go outside and talk. So anywho, let me get out here. So he says to me that he likes to switch it up every now and again. I said, this is news to me. This is news to me. This is news to me. I was floored. I felt misled. You know? I said, you couldn't have brought this up 5 months ago? Something? We kind of had this talk. I didn't say that. And so I was like, oh, okay, as I'm still covering my girls. Because I feel very vulnerable. At this point in time. And you know what the vulnerability was yes, I was being asked to do something I really didn't want to do. But B, I was questioning my mind. Am I going to be good at this? And I was like, I've done it before, but I was drunk. You know, and it was okay. I don't remember. And everything went out. And so anyways, listen. So I was like, okay. You sure? He's like, yeah. so we started, and I'm like thinking, what the fuck am I supposed to do? And so I thought to myself, I was like, well, you've been on the other end like 1 trillion times. I mean, you got medals for this whole thing. You know what happens on the other end, so just do what you like done on the other end. Hey, Bryson, so do what you like. So I did what I like. You know what I mean? You get what I mean. I did that. Next thing I know, I'm like, shit, he's enjoying it. Oh, I was pissed. You would think you'd be happy because you're performing well, but I'm like, no, I'm screwed. Now he's going to ask for it again. And I was like, well, maybe I can sabotage it by like doing it badly, right? So I tried doing my version of it badly. He loved it even more. I mean, through the roof. And he's like, I knew it would be this great. So it was confirmed. He had misled me. And he had fantasized about this. Oh my goodness. It's I'm trying everything within me to stop. And just like, oh, I'm tired. And he's like, that's okay. I said I was tired. Then he jumps, into the position to have to do the work, if you know what I mean. By work, he decided to take the lead in cooking, if you know what I mean. So I'm laying there. And then he's like, oh, he's loving it. I don't have to do nothing. I'm laying there. And I'm thinking to myself, normally when I'm in that position, I'm lazy. You see what I'm saying? What do you call them? Pillow queens? Pillow princesses? I don't want to do all that. My thighs, they're not developed enough. And so I'm like, what the? And he's going to town. I'm like, your thighs are not tired yet? You got 3 good seconds out of me. 3 good seconds. And I'm falling off. That's me. I'm falling off. Right? I'm falling off, honey. I'm not built for that. My booty's nice and my thighs are nice, but that's just for show. And so he's going to town. And the next thing I know, he reaches his moment of glory. You hear where I'm going? Moment of glory. I did not. I did not. I'm still mortified by the whole experience. Mortified that I got pulled into doing something that I was not warned about. Mortified that he's clearly very experienced in this area. Like very experienced. He was doing things there that I had not done before. I was learning from him. Like this was a skilled gal. She was a skilled gal. And in my mind, I said, I don't know if I can ever view him the same again. Not because of his multifaceted interest, if you know what I mean. Not because of that. I'm not sexist in that. Is that sexism? I'm not like that. No. It was because I felt, what else do I not know? Is his name even his name? What's his credit looking like? He told me he had good credit. Is that a lie too? What is going on here? I was traumatized because on the other end, I was like, and he liked it. So it did kind of give me an ego boost. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Is this something I should be doing? Because he really enjoyed it. And I've been on the other end and you don't always enjoy it, but he clearly enjoyed it. So we stayed together for a little while longer. And it was so awkward from then on out because every time, right? Every time we got in bed, no longer was it assumed what it would be. I used to always knew my role, knew my place. I would lay down delicately and, you know what I mean? Just heels to the sky. You see what I'm saying? Every time I used to know what I did, And now we lay down, it's kind of like you're laying there negotiating. So this time, what do you want to do? You want to again, huh? It started off, it was once a week, I'm a 5-day-a-week kind of girl, but once a week, he wanted that. And I was just like, again? Then it went up to twice a week. Then it was 3 times a week. Then it was me doing that more. Can you imagine? I suffered through. But I learned a very valuable lesson. I'm going to give you this lesson too, girls. Okay? Talk about these things up front. Even if you're hetero, you know what I mean? This is not just for the homos. Even if you're hetero, okay? Talk about these things up front. And by these things, preferences. What do you like? What do you not like? How often? You see what I'm saying? There's nothing worse than getting in a relationship with somebody and you want it 3 to 5 days. And they like, I could do it once every 2 weeks and cuddle on the in-between days. Don't touch me. I don't have that much cuddle in me. Don't cuddle with me. Don't cuddle. I'm not a big cuddler. Okay? I'm not a big cuddler. You can cuddle with me before bed. Okay, you be big spoon, I be little spoon. I'll big spoon you sometimes. That's cool. But when it's time to go to bed, I need you to go on the other side of the bed. Okay, you want to rub up against my foot? You can rub against my feet. They soft. Rub up on them. Okay, that's cool. And then in the morning, you can come back over here. Do not come back over here in the middle of the night. Don't. This elbow going to hit you. You're going to get... Okay? Ain't enough cuddle in me. And truth of the matter is, my cuddles have to be paid for. Okay? You going to pay for that cuddle with... You understand what I mean? You see what I'm saying? You... The right way. And I got plenty cuddle for you. Honey... Y'all know what I'm talking about, honey. I be hot as hell. In the middle of the night, okay? Be hot as hell. But, honey, if he the right way, honey, you can hold me all night. Honey, I'm holding on to you like one of those monkeys that be hanging on to his mama. I'm holding on to you. You ain't getting rid of me, honey. Okay? You got to pay for my cuddles. You see? And, honey, I was in a relationship one. I don't even know if I call it a relationship, right? Because once I realized... that all that good loving he was giving me in the beginning was not going to be good loving that was going to continue. I said, what changed? Is it me? He's like, no, it's not you. Just in the beginning, I was so excited. But now I'm in my norm. And, I just don't really need that. Girls, he was a reader. I'd never been so mad at a man watching him read before bed. Because I'm laying there in bed, right? Picture it, girls. I'm all ready. You know what I mean? Ready? Y'all know what I mean by ready. Educate the girls what I mean by ready. Okay? So I'm ready. And I have readied myself before bed. Okay? And I'm laying there in bed. Get in the bed. You get nothing with nothing on. You know you do. He's like, you ain't going with nothing? No. It's hot in here. And he's sitting there in bed with his glasses on reading a book. And I'm like, doing my finger on his leg. He's like, stop, that tickles me. That's the point. I'm like, it's okay. How are you? Try to be sexy. I'm not a real sexy kind of gal. I'm really not. You know what I mean? I'm just straight to the point. You know what I mean? I don't need all that ring around the rosy. And so, anyway, I'm like trying like... rare, I'm trying. And he doesn't get the hint. So one night, I was pissed, okay? Because the whole day, I'm sending him text messages. I'm using my own advice. I'm sending him text messages throughout the day. And I'm like, oh, I can't wait until you get home so we can... You know what I mean? Okay? I'm doing this because I know your kids are nearby. All right? They're like, what is he talking about? Nothing, honey. All right? Tell him it's Bible study. I don't know. And so I'm speaking in tongues. So anyway, I'm like, I can't wait for you to get home so we can... I'm sending little pictures throughout the day. Yes, pictures throughout the day. No face. No case. Okay? I'm sending my pictures throughout the day. I remember I was in my bathroom at my work. I was working at a job back then. I'm in the bathroom at work. I'm trying to do the sexy pose. I look so awkward and crazy in the bathroom stall. Throughout the day. I'm all ready. I made a nice dinner. I made him pork ribs. I used to cook pork back then. I made him some pork ribs, some, I think some baked beans, some this, some cornbread, blah, 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 collard greens, all this good stuff. You know, I'm a Texan, honey. I made him all this. Of course, you know what I made me? Salad. Okay, salad and a Dasani. Okay, so I'm starving. I have not eaten all day. Okay, I'm starving, but I'm ready. Okay, so we sitting here in bed. I come out the room, and I thought that it was understood, honey. I got the good body butter out, okay? The one that you get from the farmer's market. That old lady is not always there every Sunday, so you gotta get her when you can get her. So you gotta ration that body butter out. You know, it's the good kind. So I got my good body butter on. I'm slathered up and shiny and stuff. I get in the bed. Ooh. How you doing? I'm ruining my sheets, okay? All that oil is getting on my sheets, but it's worth it, okay? Because I'm telling you, when he was ready, he was ready, okay? That's what made it that much worse, okay? Because if he was mediocre, honey, you wouldn't care, would you? You wouldn't care. You'd be like, I'm good, honey. We'll talk about that later. I had one of those. Ooh, he was horrible. The lies I told him to get out of it, but we'll talk. So anyway, I'm ready, okay? Oil stains are on the sheets just from the body butter, okay? I am ready, okay? How was your day? I told you I'm not very sexy. So what you see is what you get here, okay? I'm pretty. I am pretty, okay? I'm not sexy. Two different things, okay? People say, why do you always smile so big on camera? MJ, give us a different post. I have no other posts. I am not sexy, okay? And so I'm like, hi, are you ready? I'm ready. Are you? Now, when you get me going, honey, I'm a ravenous beast, okay? So, I mean, the boys love it. So anyway, I'm like, are you ready? You ready? And he's like, I'm honestly tired. Let me tell you. At that moment, any degree of sanity that I had left inside of my body, it left. It left. It left. It left. I had nothing in me to give. I didn't have any more. No worries. We can just tomorrow. Or don't worry about it. I'm tired too. Or go in the bathroom and, handle your own business, if you know what I mean. Anywho, I didn't have that in me. I had a fighter in me. Okay, there was a ravenous beast inside of me that had been revved up all day. And what made it even worse, let me tell you what made it even worse, was that the whole day when I'm sending these naughty, horrible text messages that will prevent me from ever running for president. I ruined my chances in that moment. As I'm sending these horrible text messages with these horrible poses, because I'm not sexy, right? He's egging me on. See, I can't wait to. I'm looking forward to it. That's right, Miss Hamilton. He's got to go. And so anyway, so I'm telling you, this is a true story. I can laugh about it today, but honey, it was no laughing matter in that moment. So listen. I said, as my face is twitching, what you mean you tired? You can't muster up a little more energy? You want to mess up? No, you don't got nothing in you? Nothing? He's like, I'm tired, baby. I had a long day. I did too. You not nothing? I mean, I'm tired too. I only had a salad today. Like literally, iceberg lettuce. That's water. I ain't have nothing to eat today. You saw me at the table. You knew what it was. Nothing? Nothing? You got nothing in you? He was like, nah, I'm good. I'm ashamed and embarrassed to tell you the rest of the story. I am ashamed and embarrassed to tell you the rest of the story. I yank the sheets back. I then go down there and I go, try to see if I'm going to smell somebody else. He's like, what are you doing? I said, are you in another? Are you in another? He said, what? He's looking at me as crazy as I was. Okay, I was crazy. Okay? Crazy. Okay? He's looking at me like, you crazy. I said, oh, the devil was in my eyes. The dick devil. Richard devil. You get it? So anyway, I was like, are you with somebody else, baby? Let me tell you this, okay? You see all this pretty? Okay? Well, inside of all this pretty is an old hood bitch. Okay? And I'm the worst kind of hood. Old country girl, okay? And hood. Just all mixed together. Ain't nothing like old country hood girl. Okay? She came out, honey. Earrings popped off, and those good Timbs came back on. Okay? They come in handy. I said, I don't understand what the problem is. I started talking while clapping. I don't understand what the problem is. You know what this is? I got knees. I got motherfucking knees. I'm cussing up a storm, okay? At this point, the possibility of us doing anything in that moment ain't gonna happen, okay? All the sensuality has left the room. It was never there in the first place. I got motherfucking knees. And I fuck you gonna da-da-da-da. You laying up in my bed every night, da-da-da-da-da. Look at me laying here. Look at me. I'm grabbing all my stuff. You see all this? You see all this? Right? Who, girl? His face, if there was a picture of mortified in the dictionary, what a face looks like when they are mortified, that would have been his face. Okay, he looked like I pulled a bait and switch on him. Okay, like he's thinking like I thought you was sane and you was a crazy bitch. And in my mind, I got my bait and switch too. I'm like, I thought that you could deliver. And you were over here looking like a wet piece of spaghetti noodle. Okay, so we both sit up here. And you know what the most messed up part is even within all my crazy of fussing, mind you, I was like 20 something, right? In all my crazy of fussing, even within all of that, you know what the messed up part is? In my mind, I was still expecting that we was going to do something. I'm like, listen, I'm going to make my argument to him and he going to get himself together. We're going to do it. So I still had not ruled out. I'm still thinking we going to do this. Right? In my mind, you see what I'm saying? Right? He jumps up out of the bed. You make me feel bad about my sex drive. I said, it's not a disability. Just perform. He gets up out of the bed and struts into the living room and sleeps on the couch. Girl, I went to bed that night hot, bothered, tense. And of course, the next morning, I get up. I call my best friend. Because that's what you do, right? I said, girl. You will not believe what happened. Hey, Nurse Brenda. You would not believe what happened last night. He was like, what? I said, it happened again. He's like, oh, he still don't want to do nothing? He's still acting like that? I was like, yeah. I said, I don't think he cheating because he come over here every night, but when would he do that? And I felt so bad. So I need to apologize. And which I did. I did need to apologize for my performance. And my best friend said something to me that was so profound. My best friend said, apologize for your performance, but you need to actually hold him accountable. I said, in what way? He said, y'all both got into this And he represented himself as having a very different appetite than what he has. People are allowed to evolve. People are allowed to change. You didn't misrepresent yourself. He did. You need to have a conversation with him. And the conversation is not about what's wrong with your appetite. The conversation is about what does meeting in the middle look like? Because in all this time y'all been getting to know each other and dating, we were dating. It's been you working around his schedule, if you know what I mean. There's no compromise in him, right? He says, truth be told, have you not at times over the years when you've been with somebody and they want a little something, and you may not feel like it. You may not feel like it. Because, honey, that's been me, honey. But, I learned a lesson when I was a young broad. Okay? When I was a young broad. Okay? One of my aunties said this to me. She says, don't you ever tell your man no. Unless there's a compelling reason why. I said, why? I said, because he going to cheat on you if you say no? She says, no. She says, you don't tell your man no. She says, because it is completely unfair to ask anybody for monogamy, which is what I do. I do monogamy, one-on-one, right? But yet and still, you rationing it out. If you are physically able, do it. And if you're too tired, then find a position that lets him do more work. But she says, you find a way to meet in the middle. Don't you tell him no? She says, and I said, but what about him? And he should never tell you no. That's one of your duties, is to make sure that one another is fulfilled in that arena. You can have your limits, obviously. Nobody's saying, there's too much of anything, right? There's too much of anything, right? There's too much of anything. Some excess is excess. But reasonably speaking, and that's what my friend was saying. He's like, no, you've been bending. So a part of your anger is not about the fact that he said no last night. A part of your anger is the fact that you keep on bending to meet his preferences, but he has yet to even move a finger. Forget bending. He's not even moved a finger to try to meet you at your needs. So what you feel is forgotten. What you feel is disregarded. What you feel is that your needs don't matter. And because you didn't voice that, right? Because you never voiced that, it built up in you. So if anything, you're going to be mad at yourself about anything. Be mad at yourself about not voicing this to him earlier. But at the end of the day, it was a buildup. This is a human need. This is a primal need. And he chose to engage in saying we're going to be monogamous. And he's not upholding his end of the bargain. Oh, girl, I felt empowered. So, later that day, because I talked to my best friend in the morning. So later that day when he got in from work, he comes in the house. Right, and I work from home back then, so he's coming over. He said, he would always come over. So I said, we need to talk. Oh, I'm ready, honey. I'm ready. I'm not going to go off on him, but I was ready. And I said to him, I had to I was a young broad, so in my 20s. And so I said, can we ever talk? And he's like, yeah, we do need to have a talk. Last night was crazy. That was crazy. I was like, He's like, hey, Roland, he says, are you ready to apologize? I said, because I had to hold it together, girls. I had to hold it together. I said, yeah. I was like, I am ready to apologize. I was like, first of all, I'm going to apologize for how I expressed my frustration. While I feel that my frustration was justified, while I feel my frustration was something that was well-founded, I want to apologize for how it was delivered. That's all you want to apologize for? You don't respect my boundaries. I said, well, that's one way of viewing it. I said, but can we take a step back? Can we take a step back? He was like, yeah. I said, do you remember the first couple months of getting to know each other? He's like, yeah. I was like, do you remember what it was like back then? Yeah. frequency, all that kind of stuff. He's like, yeah. It's like, and then we decide to be in a relationship or it'd be exclusive, whatever you want to call it. He was like, yeah. And I was like, you know, you never once voiced to me that you had such a low drive. You never once voiced to me that this wouldn't be a consistent thing. And yet and still you knew that this is what your drive was. You knew that. You know it. Button, I had a button. I was like, you knew that, right? Because you've said to me over time, this is how I've always been, blase, blase, blah. You even told me at one point in time, once it came out that this was kind of what it was, you told me that you even had an ex who wasn't pleased with that. And you asked me to be patient with you around that. So you were aware of this. And yet and still, you did not bring this up or mention it to me until after we were in a relationship. So, while I'm certainly not asking for an apology from you for misleading me, I certainly think we need to have a conversation about what does compromise and a middle ground look like within this. Or we perhaps need to have a conversation around what does it look like to transition into a friendship. And I said it with a straight face. Right? He says, compromise. Why should I have to do something different than what I naturally feel? I said, why should I have to accept less than what I naturally need? You know that meme of Diddy when he was on that competition show and the guy was looking at him like this? And Diddy was looking at him like this? That's how it was for us. I had no sense of animosity towards him. I felt nothing negative towards him. Nothing at all. Nothing. Right? But what I did feel was empowered to own my needs and to know that my needs were perfectly fine. And just because my needs may exceed your needs in some areas or may be different than your needs in some areas, I shouldn't have to apologize for them, nor should I have to shape-shift and compromise my needs and my desires to accommodate you. We can find a middle ground here, but the middle ground is not me simply waiting on you. The middle ground is us figuring out how does this work, okay? The mechanics of this thing is pretty simple, okay? You can make it function, and I can slow it down. We can find a middle ground, but if there ain't no middle ground to be found, baby, then that's what it is. He says, well, I just don't feel like I should have to change. I said, well, I'm more than happy to discuss how we can transition to a friendship, as I mentioned before. So you're going to break up with me? You're going to break it off with me? Because I want XYZ? I said, no. I said, I'm going to transition to a friendship because if your needs in that particular area are so drastically different than mine and there's no middle ground to be found, I would rather break it off now rather than us continuing in a relationship and eventually resenting each other, or worse, somebody go out here cheating. Because I said, I go out in these streets and I'm not a cheater, but let's call it a thing. I get attention. And at some point in time, enough attention and enough unmet needs. Hey, Jazz, baby. Enough attention and enough unmet needs. Complications may happen. Honey, because let me tell you this. When a man's handling business at home, baby, you ain't even tempted to turn your head, honey. You ain't even tempted to turn your head, okay? That's why I tell you, girls, make sure you handle your man's business before he leave the house. Oh, my nose is so dry. I'm making it worse. Anyway, make sure you handle business before your man leave the house. Because he ain't going to be thinking about nobody else. Oh, that's me, honey. That's me. Okay? That's me. Morning supper. Anywho. So anyway, I'm like, no, sir. Right? I'm just going to tell you. If I'm walking down the street and it's been months, because he's the kind of man where I felt like we could go months. Right? And somebody talking about, hey, beautiful, I would normally ignore him. Right? But this time hi. I got a man at home. You know, you saying you got a man at home, but meanwhile you engaged in the whole conversation. I got a man at home. Hey, Jessica, I got a man at home. No, I got somebody at home. Why you need to know my name? It's Malcolm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't want to give you my number, but you can take my Instagram. You see what I'm saying? I'm just being real. So I let him know up front. Because I was a young broad, if I haven't mentioned it already. I was a young broad. And so I was just like, honey, I got needs. Okay? And back then, honey, bodied up and everything like that. So I'm just like, it is what it is. Right? It is what it is. And so to me, tell wifey, I said, hi, Jessica. I love y'all to death. And so I said, it is what it is. Right? And so from then on out, period, dot, from then on out, that's a conversation I have up front. How do I have it up front? I will tell you. It's very simple. It goes like this. Now, you don't bring it up on the first date, obviously. You look like a whore, even though inside we really are. That's fine. We hold off on that. So I wait a little while. And, while you sitting around the house or something like that. So first day, second day, whatever date you finally have felt comfortable with inviting them into your space or going into their space. Y'all kind of laying there on the couch. Y'all haven't really gone there yet. But y'all just kind of, laying up in each other's presence. And then I'll be like, so I have a question for you. We both grown. So that's how you know about that. It's a nasty question. I'm like, we both grown. So can I ask you this question? He was like, yeah. I'm like, nah. I act so shy. I'm not. Okay. I don't know. I don't want you to think crazy. But go ahead and ask it. Okay, so, and I got the whole list ready. I'm like, so, what's your appetite like? You're like, what you mean? What's your appetite like? I am so serious. They be thinking I'm being coy. Like I'm being coy and flirty. Nah. I'm evaluating you. I gotta do it cute and flirty. I'm a very intense person, so I've got to dial it down. What's your appetite like? And he's like, I like it all the time. Lies. That's a lie. And so, no one likes it all the time. And so I'm like, for real? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, so for instance, now I'm being so specific, honey. In your last relationship, were there ever times where you wanted it more than your partner or your partner wanted it more than you? Ask it gently. Soften your eyes. But shut up and wait for an answer. I mean, there was definitely times where I felt like, I just be tired because, I work and, and they be like, sometimes, there were times where, they wanted it more. I was like, for real? I get that. Empathize, even if you really don't get it, because there's never been a time where I felt that way. I always wanted. And so I'm like, yeah, I get that. Yeah, I see how you feel. So, like, what happened in those moments? And what I'm listening for is, did you compromise? Was it, I just say, I'll get you tomorrow. And did you get him tomorrow? 'Cause that's fair. And so I'm like, so what happened in those moments? It was what it was. I ask questions. And of course they shoot the question back at me, and I'm dead honest. They'll be like, so what about you? What's your appetite? And see, they be thinking I'm asking these questions like we about to go upstairs. We're not. You're still going to wait like a couple more dates. I'm just asking questions. I'm interviewing. Because I'm too old to be jumping up in the bedroom. Because I get attached. Okay, so I got to evaluate before we go there. But when we go there, baby, you locked in. Okay? When we go there, the minute you leave my house, there's a U-Haul waiting to follow you to your house. So you can pick up your things and come back here. You are mine now. You live here. Okay? So let's not go there just yet. So he like, what about you? What's your appetite like? I could do it every day. You crazy. I'm dead serious. For real? He's like, every day? That don't like wear you out? I was like, it don't have to be all of that. But yeah. It ain't got to be every day, but I could. For real? Right? Hey, Consuelo. I said, but I could. I got to let him know what I'm capable of, okay? And let him see a little twinkle of that crazy in your eye a little bit. Let him see. Some men like that. And some men are scared away from that. I need to see what your reaction is. I could. And then he's like, okay, cool. I mean, you down, I'm down. I'm like, I'm down. I'm real down. I let him see the crazy a little bit. Don't hide your crazy, baby. It's gonna come out regardless. And so that's how I handle it. But anyway, my boys are inside right now. You know, my two nephew sons looking at me crazy like, when are you gonna come inside this house? All right, y'all. We've had a fabulous, wonderful time. Have we not had a wonderful time this evening? I'll be back on in the future. Hey, Dre, I love all the things you're doing with your page, boo-boo. All right, y'all. I gotta go, y'all. My battery gonna go out in a minute anyway.